There are some good and bad things about Texas weather. So if you want to know what the seasons are like living in Texas, then stay tuned. Hello, my name is Dana Pollard and I'm a real estate agent in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. So if you are looking at buying or selling a home, click the link below and we would be so happy to be your team choice to work with. Let's talk about what the spring is like in Texas. And let me just say, the spring is one of the most questionable, should we say, in Texas. The spring season stretches from March through May, and it is a season of renewal and refreshing change. While the winter does not get super cold in Texas, it's cold enough for me to welcome the spring with so much joy because the grass turns from brown to green, the trees turn green, it's beautiful, many days are beautiful weather, and then let's talk a little bit about the rain showers. In the spring, Dallas-Fort Worth does see more rainfall compared to the fall and winter, and we average about 8 to 10 days of rain per month. So this period, it's also known for occasional thunderstorms and even the rare tornado, okay? They do say this is Tornado Alley, and while everyone gets terrified of tornadoes, they are a very rare occurrence to touch down. You can visit weather.gov to find the actual amount of touchdowns from year to year. Dallas County may receive like 1 or 2 actual touchdowns, and they may not be like full-fledged F5 tornadoes. But we do respect tornadoes because they can happen. It's probably as often as a major hurricane, I would say. But we're not all just sitting around terrified of tornadoes. We do get thunderstorms. Many of us enjoy thunderstorms. Some people don't. My dog gets terrified with the thunderstorm. But it's kind of fun. If it gets super dark in the evenings, you'll see the neighbors kind of come out to take a look around. We'll say hi and wave to one another. We just want to make sure that no major hail is going to come. Recently, we did have a hailstorm at our house, and for the first time in probably, I want to say 10 or 15 years, we had large enough hail. It was about golf ball size to actually damage and ding our cars just a little bit. We'll have to get our roof checked out, but other than that, I'm telling you, it's like once every 15 years that I've seen large enough hail to damage something. And then we have insurance for those things. We haven't had enough hail damage from this last storm to present any concerns as far as leaks or anything, but we know that if we went to go sell our home, we would definitely need to probably replace our roof. We would have a roofer come out, give us an estimate, and negotiate with the insurance company to replace our roof, and then we would pay a 1% deductible, which is our insurance policy, to replace it definitely before selling a house. Or if we had any issues before then. But other than hail and the occasional tornado, which I've never been through I've lived here a very long time, since I was 4 years old, I've never encountered a tornado. Houston or in Harris County, they get the most tornadoes in Texas. I think I say that on my videos when I talk about them. It's just Dallas-Fort Worth has a reputation of tornadoes, but they're probably far less rare than most people think. But that is the springtime. Other than thunderstorms and tornadoes, I would say spring maybe. I can't determine if spring or fall or summer is my favorite season. I do love them all. I'm not thrilled about winter. But spring is fun because you start planting flowers and you start your garden here. We get some wonderful not tornadoes, but tomatoes. And I love to have my herb garden. So there are wonderful things that you can prep for in the spring. We don't have to water our lawn very often to keep it green. So spring is a lovely, lovely time. I would say there are some weeks in the spring that get pretty humid though, because we do have rain coming in and out, especially in the month of May. Spring is also lovely because that's when the wildflowers come out, such as our Texas bluebonnets. And you'll see them blooming across fields and along the roadsides. Sometimes you'll see people taking pictures on the side of the road in the bluebonnets. It's the thing to do here in Texas, and so it's beautiful. We also love to enjoy picnics at the parks. There's a lot of spring festivals, plenty to do here in the spring, and we can catch a Dallas Mavericks basketball game or watch the Texas Rangers play baseball. Let's talk now about the summertime in Texas, the thing that everyone is like, oh my gosh, it's so hot in Texas. The summertime, again, I still love the summer. It could be my favorite month. It used to be my favorite month because I love swimming so much. I love boating. I don't mind the Texas heat because most of the time we're in the AC, whether we are indoors or in our car. Most of the time we have AC, so it's not as bad as you would think, except on those humid days. Those humid days, oof, we do get some hot, humid days. But I do love hot days when I go to the lake on a boat because I can get water on me and it feels lovely. I don't know, I guess I'm okay as long as the temperatures are under 100 degrees. Now let's say this, the average high temperature in Texas or Dallas-Fort Worth area for the summertime is 96, and I can handle 96 all day long. I love it, love it, love it. But when it starts creeping at 100 and above, woo! I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hot. It is hot here in Texas. Dallas-Fort Worth does get some rain in the summer times, but not typically as much as in the spring. I like a warm rain shower in the summer. We're happy to receive rain whenever we do get it in the summertime, but it's not a whole lot. Now, despite the heat summer in Dallas, it can be beautiful. The skies are mostly clear, making it a great time for outdoor activities like baseball games. Although, if you have kids in baseball, whoo, you gotta stock up on like fans. I mean, it's really funny when you go to these kids' baseball games, the things that you see the parents bringing to the game, because it can get long and hot for sure. I advise if you're moving to Texas, put your kids in football, although it can get cold. But we had our kids, our oldest in baseball, and it got hot. And I like hanging out in our backyard during the summer evenings. Now listen, this is a little tip if you got this far in the video. If you're going to buy a home in Texas, I would recommend, if you can get a backyard facing east. It's brilliant, it's lovely. If your front yard is facing west, that's where the sun goes down and hits your front, while you can enjoy your evenings in the backyard if it's facing east. You can also, if your house is facing north or south, that is okay as well, and you just don't want your backyard facing west. That's just a tip. You can, but you're gonna want a lot of trees, otherwise you will be baking in your backyard if your backyard faces west. So, side note, big nugget. Let's talk about the fall in Dallas, Texas. The fall spans from September to November, and it definitely offers pleasant relief from the intense summer heat. Generally, temperatures are about 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and so it's a perfect time for outdoor activities. This is where we're going to have our fall festivals. Again, you're in Halloween. Halloween in the fall, we don't know if it's going to be cold or warm, so it's very difficult to choose costumes if you celebrate Halloween. It is a great time to meet neighbors, but October, you just don't know if it's going to be hot or cold. Sometimes November, you don't know if it's going to be hot or cold for Thanksgiving, but that's just a side note. I do love the falls. The temperature drops a little bit. It's beautiful. Again, outdoors is really nice. It's perfect time for grilling. As far as rainfall, it's moderate. Again, about 6, maybe 8 days a month for rainfall in the fall. And I would say that it's October-ish. September, October is another time there's a slight possibility of tornadoes and thunderstorms. So I've seen them come through not that I've ever experienced one, but on the news in October. The last big one that hit Dallas was in October. There's a little bit of rain in the fall, but it's a beautiful time. The leaves start turning colors. It's a great time to go camping and hiking and kayaking in the fall in Texas. Now let's talk about winter in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. If you're moving to Texas, just know that it does get cold here in Dallas, Fort Worth. Not super freezing often, but enough that if you don't like the cold, it gets a little chilly here. So winter typically lasts from December through February, and it's much milder compared to the scorching summers. But the temperatures usually range between 39 degrees Fahrenheit and 57. It doesn't dip below freezing very often, although we did have a couple years back record-breaking ice storm. Once in a lifetime in history. Hopefully you'll never have to experience that. And then maybe once or twice a year we'll dip below freezing. Last year we had a couple of days below freezing, but we didn't have any issues with our electricity or anything like that. The biggest thing is when it ices in the winter. This is not snow, y'all, and we don't have tires to handle snow nor ice, nor do we have the equipment on the roads to handle ice or snow. We have very minimal equipment for that, and so it's always advised that you stay home on icy days because it's very, very dangerous. Just hunker down in your home and work from home or enjoy your kids, have a snow day. In the winter, rainfall is slightly less with 5 to 7 days a month with an occasional snow flurry. I do like a little bit of snow. It's been a while since we've had great snow to build a snowman, but on a rare year, we might get to build a snowman. And many of the days could be clear or maybe partly cloudy, a little bit cloudy. I don't tend to go outside much in the winter, but you can go and enjoy a Dallas Cowboys football game if you'd like. The winters in Dallas, they're quite manageable, and the season can be a great time to enjoy the city's indoor activities like visiting museums or enjoying dinners. But if you're planning a trip to Dallas during the winter, I would say November, December is a good time to come. January, February, just watch for ice storms is the biggest thing. So that sums it up for Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth weather. If you are looking at buying or selling a house, I would love to be your team of choice. I have a team of agents that are wonderful, and we have a link below that you can click on to click on buy or sell a property. See you next time.